I'm reviewing 1940s, the original animated Pinocchio movie by Disney. I hate this movie. I give it a 0 out of 10. Now I'm going to go into spoilers. So this guy is always this old dude who really wants a kid, and wishes upon a star that he would have it about having a kid, and he makes this puppet called Pinocchio, and this voodoo fairy godmother brings Pinocchio to life, this abomination that's fucking haunting looking. Like the scariest thing you could ever imagine a child could look. More than, well, my imagination could whip up, you know? Let's just get out of the way. Pinocchio's not cute. He's scary. His design freaks me out. Always has. Always will. I thought I would get over his design in my adult years, but no, I'm wrong about that. So I think this is safe to assume I can never get over Pinocchio's Pinocchio design freaking the fuck out of me when he talks. So yeah, he has to learn some sort of moral lesson and not lie, and one day become a real boy, gets turned into one by the end. And because he learned, I don't know, something. I doubt anything good, though. What from the moral lesson he learned by the end of the movie, I'm wondering. So, the next day, Geppetto lets Pinocchio off. Let Pinocchio. Pinocchio. He gets sidetracked because Geppetto's a terrible father, and he thought it would be good to let Pinocchio walk off to school to school himself, and not think anything bad would happen. Spoiler alert: something bad happens. He runs into suspicious, shady characters that come across as nice, but kind of creepy in a way, like a pedophile level, like we're talking about, kind of like Bill Cosby. Is he a pedophile? I can't remember. Definitely I should have. So, he runs into this fox and his pal, and they put him into, they make Pinocchio into a show performer. And Pinocchio doesn't see anything wrong doesn't see that he's making a fool of himself. But Jimmy Cricket, once again, has to tells Pinocchio invites Pinocchio to make a fool of himself. And because, well, he's being a total jackass to Jimmy Cricket and not listening ever to a single damn thing he says for this entire movie. That doesn't change. He's a tiny shithead to Jimmy Cricket. An ungrateful friend. Not a bad one. Don't believe me? Pinocchio acknowledged this random kid that he knew less than a day, and knows that guy is his best friend. But Jiminy Cricket, he never acknowledged him as his friend or his best friend. So Jiminy Cricket is pissed and runs off on Pleasure Island. It's called, and one of the things that Pleasure Island sounds like a really disgusting word. Pleasure Island. It sounds like a really gross word. I don't know why. It just sounds like a weird. It doesn't sound nothing pleasant about it. It just sounds creepy. Because, spoiler alert, it's a creepy place for creepy, creepy place to be, apparently. So, after the show goes wrong and Pinocchio gets fired from his show and gets fired, and then he goes to Pleasure Island and gets sidetracked again. And then we find out because of all the smoking and time that they spent and drinking or something about the islands making these kids mutate into donkeys. Like actual ones. So once the other kid that was Pinocchio's new friend turns into one, Pinocchio starts turning into one also. And Pinocchio makes the escape off of Pleasure Island before the transformation before it's complete and turns into a full donkey. And because what happens with the kids who stay on Pleasure Island who don't escape, apparently that get turned into donkeys, never see their parents again or anybody, and get sold into what looks a lot like donkey slavery. And they're all children. All of them. Oh. Now, I know what you're thinking. What does this have to do? How does this? I know what you're thinking. With all of the plot I'm giving about talking about Pleasure Island, you think that this movie would have more to do with the plot or ever come back later into the plot of Pinocchio, but no, we don't know what happens after he leaves Pleasure Island to the other kids, so it doesn't cross his mind again. Why? Well, Pinocchio is a shithead. And, it amazes me that this movie was able to put the word jackass as an actual insult. It was in the content of the movie twice. Once by Jiminy Cricket the first time, and the other one's by Pinocchio's new friend that gets turned into a donkey. And is supposed to, as referred to as insults situations. So it kind of that doesn't happen that often in kids' films now. That kind of language, I don't think really as often. So he makes up with Chappelle, who has been swallowed up and is literally in the stomach of a whale. How did he end up in there? Don't know, but the point is he's been looking everywhere for Pinocchio and stuck in the whale's butt. I mean, whale's stomach along with the cat. And the goldfish, pet goldfish too, that Chappelle has. And Jiminy Cricket and Pinocchio meet up with each other, and so they make an escape, and Pinocchio dies somehow by bad luck. And he learns something, so he gets resurrected, and this time gets resurrected as a real boy. A real mortal flesh boy, instead of a puppet boy. And that was Pinocchio. If I had to take a guess what the moral lesson is, it's owning up to your faults, also known as being honest and not lying. In other words, that's what it means. So, but I only was able to piece that to get after this stuff after the first few times. How many times I had to try think about it in my head, like try to figure out what the moral lesson is, and I guess that's it. I don't know. For sure, I don't know for 100% sure. I guarantee. I'm not the one that made the movie, so I'm just the one that watched this movie, and pity me. Yeah, Pinocchio sucks. Subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. And, I'm trying to keep it low down. Or more than normal because it's late. And, yeah, that's my thoughts on Pinocchio. Bye.